Good morning, friends. Welcome to Go Long, a show that focuses on local sports and faith, includes thought-provoking interviews with area coaches, players, and sports figures, unashamed Bible discussion, and the popular and entertaining WOYK Scoreboard Show. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B.
Good morning.
Doggy dog. Good morning, Becky B. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us, because we've got a dandy with us this morning. Tim Law. He's the director of Tennis for Kids, and he also is author of Playing It, Forward Athletic Coaching System. Looking forward to talking to Tim Law. He is a dandy. My friends, as Paul addressed believers in Rome and explained his mission in the book of Romans, for I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. Today, our Go Long topic: what does the Bible say about paying it forward? Paying it forward. Throughout the week and during today's show, please text your prayer request to 717-350-8591. By the way, happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there listening this morning. We appreciate all that you do. You know, it's red hot at downtown Ollie Brown. Grab the mustard, because this is the Grand Salami of faith-based sports radio shows, brought to you by Sports Radio 98.9 FM 1350 WOYK. First in York and first in sports. And our friend Kelsey Jean at Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars or cents. If you're going to sell your home, you want to contact Kelsey Jean at Red Barn Home Decors. Go to their website, www.redbarnhomedecors.com. You'll see all of her work. Not all of her work, but most of the work that Red Barn does there. Their houses sell for much more than their asking price, and they just fly right off the market. So contact Kelsey Jean at Red Barn Home Decors. All right, then. You wanted it. You asked for it. Guess what? You're going to get it. This is the WOYK Scoreboard. All right, let's kick this off by wrapping up the high school spring sports season. First, Monday afternoon, the Southwestern Mustangs softball team playing in the PIAA Class 5A semifinals. The Stangs, perfect for the season, sitting on a golden 26-0 record as they hit the road jack to take on the District 2 champions Pittston Patriots. The Stangs, with their ace in the circle, junior southpaw Jaden Kuntz. The Pittston Patriots, with their ace in the circle, senior righty Gianna Adams. Adams committed to play college softball at Carnegie Mellon University. She was named PIAA Class 5A Pitcher of the Year in 2022 and 2023. Her junior year with an ERA of 0.74, and her senior year this year, 0.33. Wow. Aces Wild, a matchup for the ages. Southwestern's Jada Kuntz and Pittston's Gianna Adams. It doesn't get any better than this, Becky B.
And Pittston's Gianna Adams was everything advertised and more, as she tossed a no-no at an extremely talented Southwestern lineup. Final score, Pittston 2, Southwestern 0. The Stangs did have the bases juiced in the fifth after 3 free passes, but they were unable to push a run across.
Wow, you know, Jada Kuntz pitched well. She allowed just 6 base knocks. She whiffed 6 as well, but it was 4 Southwestern errors that led to both unearned runs for Pittston. That's uncharacteristic for them, you know.
That is very uncharacteristic for them.
Yes.
But congratulations to Southwestern coach Megan Pilarczyk and the Stangs for a tremendous season. Going 26 wins, and just 1 is the loneliest number lost. And for the Stangs, they only have 3 seniors on the team.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, they're going to need to say goodbye to Emma Bainey, an infielder. She was strung up the middle at second base for them. Riley Corral, also the shortstop for them, so another up-the-middle player for them. Riley's already committed. She's playing her college softball at Lock Haven. And then Kinsley Proper, of course, in the 3 spot for them. And Kinsley was batting .600 for the season.
Wow.
Not only that, she had 50 RBIs, 10 doubles, 3 triples and 10 home runs, 28 home runs for her career.
She can hit.
She is a slugger, yep. And she will be headed to East Stroudsburg next year as well. Coming back for them, they will have Jada Coons and a boatload. I should say a corral load. What do you think?
I think a corral load.
In the corral will be a lot of people coming back and some tremendous people. What really impressed me most about this Southwestern team is the way they played as a team together. It was team above everything.
All right, they're going to miss Proper. I know, she hit over 600 for the season, as you mentioned. Jada Kuntz coming back, the ace, so that's going to mean a lot. She's got potential to pitch a no any night out. She hit over 500 for the season as well. Alrighty, congratulations, Southwestern Mustangs, great season. Alrighty, then on Tuesday evening, the Central York Panthers boys volleyball team traveled up the road to Denver to take on the Parkland Trojans in the PIAA Class 3A. That's the big boy pants division. It's the semifinals. The winner will continue on to the state championship match at State College. And just so you know, Parkland features one of Pennsylvania's best players, an outside hitter junior named Josh Nation.
Book this win for Parkland as they knocked out Central with scores of 25-21, 25-19, and 27-25. Josh Nation led Parkland with 25 kills. So congratulations to the Panthers for a tremendous season. Junior outside hitter John He was named the York Adams League Player of the Year with 130 kills, 33 aces, 83 digs. And junior setter all-star Lance Schaefer, senior libero all-star Ryan Roberts, and senior all-star Trevor Kedrick, senior all-star Christian Bucks, and junior all-star Patrick Seward.
Alrighty, they've got a bunch of good players coming back as well.
They certainly do. Yep, let's reload them and go.
I think they will with the Central York Panthers. Again, congratulations on a great season for the Central York Panthers. Alrighty, and to go long, the American Legion baseball game of the week, Wednesday evening. Northeastern doubled up New Oxford by a score of 6-3 to improve to 5-0.
This one was knotted up with a score of 3-3 in the top of the eighth when Northeastern's Derek Gross ripped a 2-out, 3-run two-bagger for the win.
For the unbeaten Nor'easters, Derek Rose had a day at the dish, going 2 for 4, driving in 4. Connor Reeser had a pair of base hits, including a two-bagger. Reeser knocked in a pair, and Quinn, the Eskimo Schindler, booked a pair of base knocks as well.
Owen Wilhide picked up the win for Northeastern as he relieved ace Drew Barshinger. Wilhide tossed the final inning in 2/3, allowing no base runners while whiffing 3.
Alrighty, for the Circletown boys in New Oxford, Tyson Carpenter picked up his hammer and saw the ball well as he ripped an RBI double, and Jacob Langham twirled the 4 innings without allowing an earned run.
Also, in American Legion baseball, Shiloh improved to 2-4 with a 5-2 win over Redline.
MJ Votero picked up the win for Shiloh as he tossed 6 innings, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits. Votero whiffing 9 Lions along the way.
Will Clappert with a perfect 3-for-3 day at the plate for Shiloh.
Alrighty, Becky B, that's a way to recover from that. Good job. Hey, in the Aunt Nellie, grab him by the ear, drag him out behind the woodshed, and guess what happened next? You get a good old-fashioned whooping. The Snacktown boys of Hanover shut out Dover 13-0 in just 5 stanzas. For Hanover, Jack Riekert, Braylon Branham, and Colton Miller teamed up to toss a 1-hit goose egg at Dover.
Still for Hanover, Colton Miller ripped a pair of extra base hits, a double and a triple. Miller also booking a sweet ribby for his day at the office. Owen Lally with a pair of knocks, including a 3-bagger, and Anthony Steele with a pair of knocks, including a 3-bagger. And in the bottom of the 4th for Hanover, Carter Egoff went yard with a 2-run ding-dong, the witch is dead dinger. With the win, the Snacktown boys improved to 3-2.
Alrighty, here's a quick look at the York Adams American Legion standings. On top of it all, the Northeastern 5-0, followed by the Circletown boys of New Oxford, they're 4-1. The Snacktown boys of Hanover 2-2. The Cigar Town boys, Redline, with a 1-1 record. Shiloh 1-4, and Dover still carrying a goose egg around in their backpacks. I thought it'd be a nice time to mention. If you ever watch an American Legion game and you see all the players line up prior to the game, they have the American Legion oath of honor that they repeat. And I thought it'd just be nice to share that with everyone in case you have seen it, haven't heard it. But I think it really stands a lot for what American Legion baseball is about. And I'm a fan of American Legion baseball. And I know it's kind of dwindled a little bit away just because of all the club baseball and all that kind of travel team stuff. that's going on. But American League Baseball, I still believe, has its place and has a great place. So here's what it is. I will keep the rules. I will keep faith with my teammates. I will keep my temper. I will keep myself fit. I will keep a stout heart in defeat. I will keep my pride under control in victory. I will keep a sound soul, a clean mind, and a healthy body. How about that?
Yeah.
That's
That's
what
a lot
mission.
to promise.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it
No,
is.
it's a great mission for young men. Go
Absolutely.
ahead. Alrighty.
Moving on to men's local hardball. Thursday evening featured interleague play between Central League and the Susquehanna League. Let's kick it off with the Central League leading Mechanicsburg Cardinals as they stayed on their winning track by derailing the Hallam Express by a score of 5-1. Christian Foltz booked the win for Mechanicsburg. Foltz tossed 5 scoreless innings, giving up just 1 hit and booking 8 Ks.
Alrighty, still for the unbeaten Mechanicsburg Cardinals. Dom Tazi with a pair of hits, including a solo moonshot in the bottom of the 4th, and Brady Ebert went yard with a 2-run tater in the bottom of the 5th. Brandon Kommensberger with a pair of base knocks, including a 2-bagger for the Cardinals.
It's also a great matchup when the
It
boys
is.
from the Rock
Yeah.
match up with York Township. This rivalry goes way back.
back.
Yeah. In a hard-fought interleague game, York Township wins 5-4 over Glen Rock as Township improves to 8-4.
For Township, Stephen Neal with a pair of hits. Neal's day at the plate included a 2-bagger and a sweet ribby. Dean Davis also with a pair of knocks, including a 2-bagger. Robert Leon with a pair of hits, including a double and a ribby. Booked the W for Ethan Sachs. Sachs tossed a complete game, allowing 4 runs on 8 Glen Rock hits. He also whiffed 8.
The Central League Manchester Indians shut out the Susquehanna League Windsor Cardinals 5-0. Tossing the complete game shutout for Manchester was Cody the Keebler Elf Reeser. Reeser giving up just 2 base hits while booking 7 Ks.
Yeah, that Keebler Elf stuff goes back to his high school years.
Oh, does it?
It does. Manchester's
guy.
Pete Capabianco connected for a 3-run touch-em-all-round tripper in the bottom of the 3rd. Connor Reeser and Jonah Lotswat also with a pair of base knocks for the 6-4 Manchester Indians.
And Aunt Nellie was at the Jefferson
She was.
Carnival grounds as the Central League Jefferson Titans spanked the Susquehanna League Stewartstown Vets 17-2 in just 4 stanzas. For the Jefferson Titans, Sam Crater had a day going 3 for 3, including 3 2-baggers and 7 ribbies.
7 ribbies for Sam Crater of the Jefferson Titans. That's a lot of ribbies, isn't it? So
But 3 doubles?
well, true.
That's just-
Three
yeah.
doubles, right? What a day.
What a
So
day.
anyway, I said to myself, who had the most RBIs in a Major League Baseball game? So I'm going to go back to 1993. Some of you guys will remember this name, Mark Whitten. He was playing for the St. Louis Cardinals then, but he had 12 in that
Wow.
game, September
Wow.
7th, 1993. There's a whole slew of guys that had 10, including Reggie Jackson, Fred Lynn, Nomar Garcia Parra, Alex Rodriguez. So, many
Some
of
pretty
those
big names there.
Yeah. Whitten, by the way, played for 8 teams in 11 years. He was kind of one of those guys who just went to different teams, right? Had a 257 career batting average, had over 423 career RBI. So he could hit 12 RBIs.
Sounds like he could hit with
12
men on
RBIs.
base anyway.
Right, that's a lot of ribbies.
It is. Central League Mount Wolf Wolves pounded Susquehanna League's Felton Mad Dogs 10-0 in just 5 innings. Ryan Gray led the Wolves with a pair of and doubled 2 sweet ribbies. Grant Hoover jacked a gopher ball in the bottom of the 4th, and Mark Burnside with a pair of knocks for Mount Wolf. Owen Wilhide tossed 4 shutout innings to book the W.
Susquehanna League's Jacobus Jackals picked up a 3-2 win over the Central League's Pleasureville Hawks for the Jackals. Carner Williams tossed 4 innings, allowing no earned runs with 4 Ks to book the win. Andrew Chronister with 3 base hits to lead Jacobus.
It was Susquehanna League's Conrads shutting out the Central League's Vikings 9-0 in Shiloh. For the Conrads, pitcher Stephen Lehman picked up the win, tossing 5 1/3 innings and allowing just 1 hit. Nolan Boschel led the New Bridgeville 9 with a pair of hits, including a 2-bagger and an RBI. Boschel also tossed the last 1 2/3 shutout innings. Mitchell Barber and Jonathan Carlin, each with a pair of knocks and 2 ribbies for the Conrads.
And it was Susquehanna League's East Prospect Pistons over the Central League's Stoverstown Tigers. That's a good one, 3-1 for for the Pistons, Dylan Stoops twirled a complete game, giving up just 1 run on 3 hits, allowing no free passes and whiffing 6. Ricky, don't lose that number Smith with a pair of doubles and 2 ribbies. Devin Strickler with 3 base hits. Austin Powers Denlinger with 2 base knocks, including a double. And Ryan Fleury with 2 base hits for East Prospects.
And there were 4 games played yesterday in the Susquehanna League. And with it, the Windsor Cardinals 9, Stewartstown Vets 4, the Pistons from East Prosper 6, over the Conrads 1.
They're known as the Coonrads around this way, by the way.
Well, I know.
Coonrads. I know the Conrads.
All right. The Express from Hallam 6, the Felton Mad Dog 0, and York Township's 4, Jacobus Jackals 1.
Alrighty, here's a look at the standings from the Susquehanna League East Prospect. The Pistons on 2 games up of York Township. The Pistons with a 12-2 record. York Township 9-4. The Hallam Express 7-4. The Windsor Cardinals 7-6. Followed by the Coonrads from New Bridgeville 5-8. Jacobus the Jackals are 3-8. Felton the Mad Dogs are 2-11, and the Stewartstown Vets, well, they're still walking around with their ball bag of 0 wins. Then in the Central League, the Tigers of Stoverstown lead with a 8-1 record. I shouldn't say that. Mechanicsburg undefeated, 7-0, so they're still a half game up perhaps on Stoverstown. The boys from the Rock, Paper Scissors, the Rock from Glenrock, 6-2. The Mount Wolf Wolves, 5-3. The Manchester Indians, 5-4. The Pleasureville Hawks are 5-5, and Jefferson, the Titans, are 3-7. You know, there's some parity right there. You know,
there sure is. There's still a lot of season to go too.
Yep.
In those leagues.
Later on in the show, Becky B and I are gonna look at the top players in the York Adams baseball. These young men have just had some incredible seasons, so it'll be fun to talk about them as well. Now, each week throughout the summer, what we promised to do, and we're going to do it, and we're delivering it, we're going to give a stat, a Central League or Susquehanna League baseball stat. And I thought this one I thought was really interesting when we look at the Central League this week. Next week we'll look at we'll go back to the Susquehanna League next week. But if you look at the Central League this week, career at-bats. Now that's probably not a stat that you always look at, right? Who had the most
probably
at-bats?
Not.
But to me, you know, I think one of the alluring things about playing hardball, town team baseball is the longevity of some of these players who play for the love of it. I mean, they're coming out after working a long day, coming out and playing ball. And you know well, Becky B, it's a commitment not just from the player, but from the whole family, right?
The whole family.
It is.
Yep, because they come home from work, go running off again. And
Yep. I mean, it's a commitment. So here you have Eric Dowing. Eric Dowing played his career at Stoverstown. He leads everyone with 3,326 at-bats.
That is simply amazing, because usually you only get like 4 at-bats a game.
Absolutely. Played 34 years in the Central League.
Moly.
33 of them for Stoverstown. He played college baseball at York College, went on to play for Stoverstown. I know Eric Dowling well. The dude he's one of those spray hitter kind of guys that it doesn't matter where you pitch it, he gets a bat on it and he just dumps it over the infielder's head for base hits. He's not a power hitter. Great fielder, great second baseman, shortstop, turned the double play well, I should say. Led everyone by almost 400 at-bats. How about that? Eric Dowling played his career at Stoverstown. Second on this list, Kelly Raber. He played at Dover. Raber was a heck of a baseball player as well. Can you imagine in Central League history, he's first in doubles at 209, runs scored 850, tied for first in triples with 40, second in career games, 929 career games, second in hits, 1,087, had over 1,000 hits, sixth in batting average. So for all those years, he hit 368, and seventh in RBIs is Kelly Raber, 557. He's also a member of the Central League Hall of Fame. He played college baseball. He played college football, I should say, at Virginia Military Institute, VMI, as a quarterback. Kelly Raber, Third on this list, Rick Brenner. Rick Brenner from Mount Wolf, 2,789 at-bats. Larry Hicks might be one that surprises some of you. Fourth on that list, 2,788. Does it?
It does.
25 years, first baseman catcher for Pleasureville. Larry also, many of you know, wrote sports articles for the York Dispatch.
Yes.
Loved Larry Hicks.
He just
articles.
loves sports.
He did love sports. Great writer. We're going to have to try to get Larry on the show sometime. And then fifth on this list is actually a teammate of Eric Dowling, Tim Toman from Stoverstown, 2,772. Tim Toman also played his college baseball at York College and actually recruited Eric Dowling to play at Stoverstown as well because of their friendship and time playing together. So how about that? Isn't that fun? Career bats, Eric Dowling, Stoverstown, 3,326 career bats, playing 34 years. And, another one that might catch your eye, right? Mike Kesey.
Yeah.
How about that?
Is that the same Mike Kesey who was the all-time basketball coach?
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Alrighty, Becky.
Just never know where things are going to show up.
We still have a lot to do on the Go Long scoreboard.
We certainly do. Okay.
But it's fun to chat that.
It sure is. Let's go now, though, to the York Revolution. Keep it in baseball. Okay. Zach Neff spun 6 scoreless innings as the York Revolution won their 4th straight 7-4 over the Staten Island Ferry Hawks on Saturday night at Staten Island University Hospital Community Park. The first-place Rebs increased their lead in the North Division to 4 games with 17 games to play in the first half, and they're going to go in for the sweep today. In support of Neff, York's offense battered 12 hits, including 3 home runs, while stealing a whopping 7 bases.
That's amazing, isn't it?
That's
7 bases like that. That is.
It was also a milestone win as it marked Rick Forney's 100th victory as the Revs manager.
All right, today York again will face Staten Island. That game at 1:30. You can catch the action live here on Sports Radio 98.9 FM, 1350 WOYK. You can also capture it on the new WOYK app and Flow Baseball. TV coverage on Flow Baseball begins at 1:10. The best there is, Daryl Henry will have that call. Ooh, I'm telling you, for Father's Day, what a nice thing that'd be to sit out by the porch. Yes, have a nice iced tea and listen to the York Reds with Daryl Henry's call.
Well, listen, you can listen to him in the garden while you're pulling the weeds. How's that?
Right, thank you. That's
all right, and the Hershey Bears took an early lead, but the Coachella Valley Firebirds scored twice in each of the first 2 periods to ultimately deal Hershey a 4-3 loss in Game 1 of the 2024 Calder Cup Finals in front of a crowd of 10,154 on Friday night at the Giant Center. The Bears continue their Calder Cup playoffs when they host the Coachella Valley Firebirds in Game 2 tonight at 5 o'clock at the Giant Center.
All right, my friends, it's time to go long. Today, our go long topic is, what does the Bible say about paying it forward? If you just think for a second, how many times in your life, whether it's a coach or a loved one, or maybe someone you didn't even know, paid it forward to you with a kind word or doing something nice to you, maybe a small act of kindness, and think of the impact. Maybe it was just a short-term impact, maybe it had a long-term impact, but I want us to think today and then read some Bible verses that relate to paying it forward. And let me read from the book of Proverbs, and then I want to talk more about it, but from the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 27. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in your power to act. My friends, it is in the power of all of us to act, to pay it forward to someone. Today is a good time to pay it forward by doing some kind of act of kindness, saying some good word to someone else. You will pay it forward. Becky B, your thoughts? And I want to chat a little bit about sometimes when I forget about paying it forward, why that is, and then maybe we can work through that.
Alrighty. Yeah, well, sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can make such an amazing difference in your life. I will never forget one time that I was in the grocery store with 2 squalling toddlers. We were going through the grocery aisles, and of course they wanted everything filled with sugar that they could grab in the boxes, and I kept on saying, no, we're not getting that. No, we have this list to go. And, they were just having down-out toddler tantrums at that point. And I remember this one lady, I don't have any idea who she is, who she was, whatever, but she just came up to me and kind of patted me on the shoulder and said, Mama, you're doing a really good job. You're going to look back on these days and really, think them as some of the best days of your life. And I just thought, oh my goodness, that lady didn't know how she made a difference just with that little comment in my life when I was kind of at my wit's ends dealing with some squalling toddlers.
Wow, good story. So some of the reasons that I think we don't pay it forward on a daily basis, I think we're too busy, right? I think we're too busy, like you said, you're too busy caring for children. We're too busy running from work to a game to coaching to playing to work around the house to mowing the grass or whatever it is, right? We're just doggone busy all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just the last thing that comes through the mind is, okay, what can we do for someone else?
And especially, I think, type A people like yourself, you are such a motivated person, and you have you just have such a focus. I'm going to get this done. And you don't let anything keep you from your focus, which is a wonderful trait to have. But, sometimes when we're focused on what has to be done, we forget what should be done.
Right. I think throughout our lives, we, and I think this is a legitimate one, we feel like we can't afford to do it, right? We just don't have the resources to do it. And sometimes those resources are just in our mental capacity, that we're just tired and worn out and broken down at times, right? It's just
absolutely exhausted.
That's a good way to put it. That and we just feel we can't afford to do it financially and sometimes emotionally. That we just can't do anything else. And then I guess also sometimes I think, does it really make a difference? Will it really make a difference to pay it forward and by doing an act of kindness or by giving something to someone else, right?
And I think the answer to that is yes. I mean, how many times have you had somebody who you coached years and years ago come back or write you a short note or something and say, you don't know how your belief in me has really made such a difference.
Yeah.
Or, I really thought at the time that you were just too hard-nosed and that you were too tough and that, you didn't really care, but you were just teaching us the right way to live.
Interesting. Okay. And sometimes we'll say, tomorrow's another day. Let's just do it tomorrow. And to that I say from the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 28, do not say to your neighbor, come back tomorrow and I'll give it to you, when you already have it with you. Today's the best time to do it, right? Today's the best time to do it. So let's read a few Bible verses about paying it forward. From the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 2, live a life filled with love, following the example of Christ. He loved us and offered himself as a sacrifice for us, a pleasing aroma to God. From the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 39. And the second is like this. We all know this. Love your neighbor as yourself. From the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 25, the generous man will be prosperous, and he who waters will himself be watered. From the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deed. From the book of Colossians, and this one I think is really important because it speaks to maybe our feeling that we don't have the resources, we don't have the capacity. From the book of Colossians, chapter 4, verse 6b, be gracious in your speech. The goal is to bring out the best in others in a conversation, not put them down, not cut them out. And from the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 29, watch the way you talk. Let nothing foul or dirty come out of your mouth. Say only what helps. My friends, I love this. Each word is a gift. How about that? Each word that comes out of our mouth should be a gift to someone else, right? We talk about paying it forward. So just think for a second, if you have a paper and pencil, jot down a couple ways that you can pay it forward today by a kind word, by a nice deed. And then finally, I say this. I believe you can also pay it forward by praying for others, by having them in your thoughts and your prayers. I think is also a wonderful way to pay it forward with others. Becky B., your thoughts?
Absolutely. You never know when a kind word is going to lift up a person, or, what you do is going to impact a person maybe even years and years down the line. I've read many stories of how a mentor has made a difference in such a life, and not, doing anything like, building the Statue of Liberty or grand things. These are small gestures or things, coaching, for example, teaching Sunday school or Bible school, teaching, stopping and helping somebody to put their bicycle chain back on their bicycle on the rail trail, things like that just have really made tremendous differences.
Yep. And on this Father's Day, I'll recall my father, who attended every sporting event I ever played, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't matter if it was in Florida. It didn't matter if it was wherever, right?
And many of his grandchildren's, too.
Well, true. Yep.
And even his great-grandchildren occasionally.
So I say a way to pay it forward is by being present as well, which we all have
Absolutely.
the power to be present, right?
And being positive, yes.
Yep. So finally, I'll leave with this Bible verse from the book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 4. Let each of you not only look only to your own interest. Let me try that again. Let each of you look not only to your own interest, but also to the interests of others. So, my friends, today we're talking about paying it forward. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have Tim Law, who is the director of Tennis for Kids, but he also is the author of Playing It Forward, Athletic Coaching System. Won't that be interesting to chat about?
That will be interesting
to
chat
my friends,
with Tim.
I look forward to it. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsors, Red Barn Home Decors.
Hey, WOIK listeners, Daryl Henry here with Kelsey McCullough, Kylie Taylor, the owners of Red Barn Home Decors. Kelsey, tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing.
So Kylie and I bring in our furniture and decor to either a vacant or occupied home, and we allow buyers to create emotional connections with the home by envisioning their family in that space. Doing that allows the buyer to get top dollar for their listing and also sell it in the fastest amount of time.
Kylie, tell us about the benefits of Red Barn in particular.
Home staging is very important in the selling process. It really makes sure that your home sells in the quickest amount of time and for the top dollar. Some of our statistics here are homes sell in an average of 4.5 days and for over 16,000 over asking.
Kelsey, how would folks get in touch with Red Barn?
Please feel free to check out our portfolio at www.redbarnhomedecors.com. You can also check out our social media pages at Red Barn Home Decors or give us a call at 717-818-1207.
Red Barn Home Decors. Staging makes dollars and cents.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield creeps in again.
The sounds of summer play here.
It's through. It's a base hit. Stott scores. Marsh being waved home. He's going to score. And the Phillies have just won it. Trey Turner plays the hero for the Phils.
Catch Phillies baseball right here on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK, York.
And welcome back to Go Long. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B. And as promised, with us live is Tim Law, director of Tennis for Kids and author of Playing It Forward Athletic Coaching System. Tim, thank you so much for being with us today. It's wonderful to talk to you on this Father's Day.
Well, I really appreciate the honor, Wayne. Thank you so much for taking the time to reach out.
Alrighty. First of all, Tim, let's talk about Tennis for Kids. What a great program. Gives children the opportunity over the summer to experience playing the wonderful sport of tennis. Tell us about Tennis for Kids.
Well, this program was started back in 1990 by Hank Murgis, who was the worked for the York Dispatch, and then he's had a lot of great people assisting him on the way, including John Davis and several other people. And we're currently in 22 locations, although we're in 17 this year because of some court redos there and everything. And got a great staff of probably 135 people all together, and we've got somewhere around probably 1,400 kids in the program.
Now, Tim, one of the things that I think is just amazing about this program is that any student or any young person between the ages, I believe, of 7 and 13 can participate without paying a cent. It's totally free, and they can even come if they don't have any kind of equipment, that the program will supply the equipment for them to use during that time.
Yes, we would certainly encourage kids of all ages, and ironically, we've had requests for kids as young as 5 and 6, which is fine with us. We just ask the parent to, stay nearby, just because a 5 or 6-year-old, they may need more of a break rather than going the straight 2 hours.
Right. Yeah, 2 hours is a long time for some of these little guys, but I've
long time for me. What are you talking about? Right.
That's true too. But I've kind of observed some of these programs, and to me it's unbelievable the way that your instructors are able to relate to the kids of all ages. I've seen the way they break it down so that the little guys who have less of an interest and less, truthfully, physical strength than some of the teenagers and so forth are able to learn skills in a way different than some of the teenagers. They've really developmentally appropriately instruct them. How do you find these instructors?
Well, a lot of them. I coach the guys and girls team at Northeastern. I've been doing that for, I just finished the 9th year doing this, and we get a lot of our kids from there, but we also have a lot of people that have been involved with us for several years that just come back year after year. And they really do a great job as far as, working with the kids and everything. We couldn't be prouder of our staff.
Now, Tim, if I'm a parent or a grandparent or a guardian, how can I get more information about this program? Because I really encourage, young people's participation. Not only will they learn to enjoy tennis, and they do it in just a good, safe atmosphere, but I know the instructors also, talk about life lessons. They try to build confidence in the young people, and they talk about positive attitudes. Becky B and I, our 2 grandchildren, have participated for years, and it's a wonderful program. So how can people get more information?
The best thing to do is to go to www.tennisforkidsyork. That's tennisforkidsyork.com, and they can pretty much get the information as far as the sites, locations, and everything along those lines.
All right, and really, for them to participate, about the only thing they should show up with is court-appropriate shoes, sneakers, something along that line, and a water bottle. They don't really need anything else because equipment will be provided should they not have the tennis equipment, and just the ability to show up is the first step.
Right. Well, we do encourage, if they do have any rackets at their home, to bring them in. We have a certain amount of extra equipment, which if the child needs it that day, they can get it. And my wife has discovered a great way to pick up rackets and that type of thing. A lot of these thrift stores will have rackets for the kids, and they're all at $4, and then the child, even when Tennis for Kids is over with, they've got a tool or a racket to be able to use to continue to go out and hit up on their own or with a parent or a sibling.
We're speaking with Tim Lau, Director of Tennis for Kids. Tim, also, I know you have developed a video program that coaches, parents, again, I encourage grandparents and guardians to view, called Playing It Forward Athletic Coaching System. I had a chance yesterday to look at some of the videos.
No, an audio. Honey.
Audios. Well, I'm sorry, some of the audios. Yes, Becky,
audio
I'm over 60. I know. I don't even know what an email is. Right. First of all, coaches, well done. Secondly, I kept nodding my head saying, yes. It's probably more needed today than ever, is to listen to these audio tapes that you made. Can you tell us about your program, Coach?
Sure. Well, actually, the website for that is Playing It Forward Coaching. And actually, if you go into, I've got a YouTube channel which I started during the COVID lockdowns, and it's going very well. I have over 450, and these are video interviews on Playing It Forward Coaching on YouTube. The other ones on strictly the website, yes, those are more of the audios, but the best thing to do would be to go to the Playing It Forward Coaching on YouTube, and it's going to give you a much better idea of some of the interactions and interviews that we do with a lot of people that are, have been very active in their life. Trinity Thomas, she's on there, an amazing gymnast for Florida, and then also another young lady named Elizabeth Ionescu, who at the young age of 15 actually got she's ranked in the women's tennis in the world. She was ranked like 1,085, and for somebody as young as her to get a world ranking is just mind blowing. And we've got a lot of other coaches, student athletes, people that are just doing some really neat things as far as their lives are concerned.
So, Coach, let's talk about coaching a little bit. And I've coached basketball at various levels for over 35 years, and one of the things I learned early on was I was spending too much time gibbering back and forth to the officials and not spending enough time coaching my players during games, and so I had to correct that, and I did. Give us some fundamental tips for people who coach. I know we have coaches not only in schools, but now in AAUs and clubs teams and youth teams. What kind of advice do you have for coaches?
Well, Wayne, I've kind of boiled it down this way. There's 4 keys to referred to as good coaching, and that could be good teaching as well, in a classroom. But as far as the athletics is concerned, there's 4 keys, and far and away most important is your rapport and how well you handle the students, the student athletes, And not everybody's the same. And back in the day of Vince Lombardi, it was said by Forrest Gregg, one of his offensive linemen, Coach Lombardi treats us all the same like dogs. Well, that era is long gone, and it's not something that is really repeatable with the current group of our kids that we have. So how well you handle the students is most important. Now, no particular order for the next 3. The next one is what you know as a coach, within your field. The next one is how well you transfer what you know as a coach to your athletes. And then the last one that I usually go with is how well you glue or communicate with your team, to help, hold them together. You do those 4 things. If you do them well, you won't necessarily win every single contest, but you're going to have an enjoyable journey with the kids, and I think the kids are going to enjoy it too.
That your first point there kind of comes to one point that I have heard stressed over and over in education is they really don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And
Totally.
Yes, and I think that you are absolutely right. As a mentor, all of these first steps are developing that relationship with the people that you're coaching or the people that you're with. And, I think you hit the nail on the head right there, Tim.
Yeah, well, I certainly hope so. And just to add one more thing, I'm actually in the process of putting together a book. It's called Having to Deal with Teen Mental Toughness. COVID really rocked our young people with what I refer to as enforced laziness, where they couldn't really get involved with anything. They were kind of consigned to their screens and phones and that type of thing. So anyway, this Teen Mental Toughness book that should be coming out toward the end of the summer, I think, is kind of a step-by-step way to help a lot of our kids get on the right track as far as fitness, more activity, movement, that kind of thing. So I'm pretty excited about that, coming up.
We're speaking with Coach Tim Lau. Tim Law. Coach, what advice for parents? And I talked earlier in honor of my father on Father's Day. When I was playing college baseball and also even town team baseball, I mean, he never missed a game. But he quietly sat there. And you wouldn't know if I was 0 for 5 and struck out 3 times or if I was 3 for 5. But he was there. He was present. And that, and I reflect back, that meant so much for me just to have, just knowing he was there. But also, I don't know if I appreciated it, but knowing he wasn't being critical, knowing that he was supportive regardless of how I played. But what advice do you have for parents?
Sure. And I'm glad you asked that question. My advice for parents is this: that the key thing with any of these sports and activities are the life lessons. And to me, that's what's most important. It takes a lot of pressure off my kids that I coach, because I try to emphasize that. You prepare well, you play well, you do the best you can. And let me just give you a little stat for parents, okay? If you think your child is going to be the next Major League Baseball player, there's one chance out of 8,000 that you will, okay? Now, that's not to discourage or say that they can't, but the idea that parents are looking, oh, my kid's going to make the major leagues or the Olympics, well, hey, if they do, awesome. But in the meantime, pick up the life lessons so that, the child knows that if they get knocked down, they get back up. You don't make excuses. You do your best to, follow up with good sportsmanship. And just be a better person. That's the main thing.
And realistically, when you're right that most kids are not going to end up being the next Trinity Thomas or the next, major league standout. You're right. But what sports does, I feel, is teaches so many important things that you can transfer to life, like the grit of getting up, dusting yourself off, and go after you strike out, going to get the next hit. Knowing that if you fail, you can pick yourself up and go on. Knowing that working as a team together and cooperating toward a common goal is so important, and those can be transferred over to almost any career you can think of.
Absolutely, 100%. Couldn't agree with you more.
Again, we're speaking with Tim Law, author of Playing It Forward Athletic Coaching System, and director of Tennis for Kids here in the New York area. Coach, also, maybe advice for players as well. I think, you watch sporting events on TV, and, sometimes you may not see the best sportsmanship, or you may see a call by an official and all of a sudden the hands go up and, words come out, and it's kind of overlooked, I think, in today's sporting world a little bit. What advice do you have for players, for our young people?
Well, I think, keeping things in perspective, I don't care who you are, you're gonna take some lumps and some losses, and newsflash for some of our young people, life is not fair, and there's going to be times that you do kind of take it on the chin, fairly or unfairly, and again, it's just one of those life lessons that can be applied to your world of work or going on anytime you have to get involved with a large group of people or anything like that. You're going to have to come in with certain attitude and just a work ethic. One of the things I really try to emphasize, and when I do my interviews on the YouTube channel for Playing It Forward Coaching, I start in with the idea that always looking for becoming more self-reliant. Have a good work ethic. Chase that work ethic with a good skill, and always go the extra mile. Develop people and communication skills. If you do those things right there, you're gonna flourish in this country.
Well, and Tim, we really appreciate the way that you have been paying it forward, developing and coordinating programs like Tennis for Kids, helping people who are going into coaching, working with young athletes all across the board. You have done a super job of paying it forward.
Well, again, could not do it without the wonderful team we've been able to surround ourselves with here, and a big shout out to the the site directors, assistant site directors, and our teaching staff at each one of these Tennis for Kids locations. Without them, it just wouldn't work.
One final thought here before I let you go, and again, thank you so much for your time here. It's really just enjoyable chatting with you, and as Becky B stated, you've done so much for our Central Pennsylvania community with directing the Tennis for Kids program, but also in your coaching, and now with this Playing It Forward athletic coaching system program you have. But it's every now and then I just regress a little bit, and I think back to how the world has changed. Growing up in a small town, and with the Etzel brothers and the McFatridge brothers, we'd play sandlot baseball, get 400 at bats in a day, and we kind of learned how to play together because we didn't have officials and we didn't have somebody watching over top of us all the time. And I think we learned some of those life skills that now have to be learned in a little bit different way, and it takes a little bit different focus, and it takes probably an intentionality that you're bringing forward in your program that perhaps 30, 40, 50 years ago wasn't necessary. Your thoughts here, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. The world has certainly changed, and I can't emphasize enough the importance of positive role models, and if a child has a challenging scenario or whatever, if somebody could come up and talk to them about what could be done differently or better or whatever, and always encouraging. And can't emphasize this enough that all it takes is a good word from a coach that you may have had. I was told after going in my freshman year wrestling at Oswego State, I went into my brother's wrestling room in high school. He was a ninth grader, a guy there named Jim Harris. And I went in and did kind of a wrestling demonstration because he hadn't had the experience. And he said to me afterwards, he says, "Tim, you did a great job." Now, I'm 18 and a half at this point, and he says, "Did you ever think of going into coaching?" And I said, "I hadn't really," but then I went back second semester, changed my major to education, and was very, very glad I did it. And, just that kind word by that gentleman who really, it made me at 18 and a half.
Great story. And, a similar story, I once had a college coach tell me that perhaps my mouth didn't reflect the kind of young man he thought I was. And I went home that afternoon and told myself I'm never going to say another swear word again. And I worked at it, practiced it, and have done it. So the influence of coaching can be extremely positive. You're right. Again, Tim Law, Director, Tennis for Kids, author of Playing It Forward Athletic Coaching System. I encourage you all to go to his website and to watch these audios and his YouTube videos as well. Tell us one more time how we can get access to this, Coach.
Yes, the YouTube actually got over 450 interviews on there. It's had over 61,000 views and about 700 subscribers, which, for considering I'm kind of the Fred Flintstone of technology, did okay. But if they go to Playing It Forward Coaching on YouTube, they'll get to see a lot of those interviews with some amazing people within the community and outside the community. Some people that are quite a ways away from our area. And I got a lady she's a heart transplant recipient from Johns Hopkins. She's Travis Martin's sister, the tennis coach at New Oxford. That was a pretty neat one. And then another lady that was a kidney donor, Amy. I'm dropping the ball on this one. I apologize.
That's all right.
But anyway, just a variety of really, really good quality people. The Trinity Thomas, the Elizabeth Ionescu's, numerous, wrestlers, coaches, all kinds of backgrounds.
Well, today on Go Long, we celebrate Coach Tim Law. And, Coach, thank you for all you do for all of us here in Central Pennsylvania. We appreciate it, and thank you so much for your time today.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate both of you.
All righty. We'll be right back, friends, after this quick message from our sponsors, Red Barn Home Decors.
Hey, WOIK listeners, Daryl Henry here with Kelsey McCullough, Kylie Taylor, the owners of Red Barn Home Decors. Kelsey, tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing.
So Kylie and I bring in our furniture and decor to either a vacant or occupied home, and we allow buyers to create emotional connections with the home by envisioning their family in that space. Doing that allows the buyer to get top dollar for their listing and also sell it in the fastest amount of time.
Kylie, tell us about the benefits of Red Barn in particular.
Home staging is very important in the selling process. It really makes sure that your home sells in the quickest amount of time and for the top dollar. Some of our statistics here are home sell in an average of 4.5 days and for over 16,000 over asking.
Kelsey, how would folks get in touch with Red Barn?
Please feel free to check out our portfolio at www.redbarnhomedecors.com. You can also check out our social media pages at Red Barn Home Decors or give us a call at 717-818-1207.
Red Barn Home Decors. Staging makes dollars and cents.
Alrighty, welcome back to Go Long. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B. And, we promised earlier we're going to give you some outstanding York Adams baseball players as we wrap up this high school season. We're probably going to have to go in the next week a little bit with some of these, but I'm going to pick one.
Definitely
Becky
will
B.
need to.
I'm going to pick one, then Becky B, let you pick one. But I talked about this young man earlier this year, Manny Cartagena from Susquehannock. Can you imagine? So this year he hit 362, but what really caught my attention is he had 7 long balls. He went long 7 times, and Susquehannock is not a hitter's park by any means. Big green fence out in right field. He had 23 ribbies, 879 slugging percentage, and an on-base percentage of 493 to Susquehannock's Manny Cartagena. Becky B, you pick one.
Alrighty, and and Manny, by the way, was named the Division II Player of the Year
by the coaches.
by the coaches. Alrighty, I'm going to go down to DeLone Catholic's Aiden Whitmer. We talked with Aiden.
What a great young man.
Yes, absolutely. He was named the Division IV Player of the Year. He had a 6-1 record, an ERA of 1.75. He only allowed 10 earned runs through the whole season.
Incredible.
When you look at that in 40 innings. So, that just amazing to me. And DeLone, I think he was one of the people that, of course, it's a team sport, but he was one of the people that contributed to DeLone's rise up through into the state playoffs.
True. Right, I think we have time for one more each, right? And then
okay,
we're going to continue this next week and then do softball players as well and volleyball players throughout the next couple weeks. We talked to this young man also on our Go Long show. How about Red Lines Jr., the coach's son, Connor Lawrence? He was 7-0 as a pitcher, included 1 save, but look at his earned run average, 0.59. He allowed just a half a run per game. And he also then, at the plate, batted .345, 14 ribbies, had a .545 slugging percentage. Absolutely great young man, great player. What a joy it was to chat with him here on Go Long.
Absolutely. And, he could have gone up for Pitcher of the Year honors as well. He was named the Division I Player of the Year. I'm going to go down to Division III Player of the Year. Bermudian Springs right-hander Branson Diller shared this with Kennerdale left-hander Adam Laux. Diller was 4-1 with a 1.48 ERA and struck out 26, and then and he also touched a no-hitter. And Dylan and Laux had a 4-2 record with an ERA of 1.34 and struck out 27.
Wow!
So just amazing statistics with them.
Yep, what a joy to celebrate these young athletes. Okay, Becky B, and we'll continue that again throughout the next few weeks in our summer and give you more baseball players. But first of all, Becky B will close in prayer. But again, I want to thank all of you for being with us this Father's Day and also every Sunday morning. It means so much to us to spend this time together. So Becky, please close in prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this time together, and we thank you, Father, for being a Father who is always good to us. You are so good in everything you have given us. You are so good in your actions and your promises, and you stand by those promises. And we just thank you, Heavenly Father, for the amazing fathers that you have given to us and father figures in our lives. And thank you for all the ways that they touch our lives and that they have unselfishly done so much for families and for young people. We just thank you, Lord, as the seasons have come to an end for all of the athletes, and we ask your protection for them, and we ask especially for Kinley and Ireland. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. Thank you to Kelsey Jean from Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents. For Sports Radio 98.9 FM, 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. This is Wayne McCullough and Becky B saying, go long.